Okay, Ed, I've got your controller hooked up with your micro switch. I got it hooked up to a motor. I don't know if you can see the wiring here, but the way that the wiring goes, this is going to a plug. Okay, so one side of the plug gets hooked up to one of the wires of the motor, and one of the wires from the controller gets hooked up to the other wire on the motor, and then the wire from the plug and the remaining wire from the controller get hooked up to each other. Okay, so that's how it's correctly wired. Okay. Also over here we've got the micro switch, which obviously gets connected to the plug. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and you can, I don't know if you can actually see this pump turning, but the pump is barely turning. Okay. I mean, it's not creating any vacuum at this point. I mean, I could have put a vacuum gauge on it. And you can see that it's not producing any vacuum. Okay. And when it's in this state with the switch off, with the micro switch off, this controls the speed of the motor. This is in the rewind. This is what would be in the rewind position. And you can see that as I turn that down, the motor stops. And you watch as I turn it back up, the motor starts turning again. And you can see that when I turn this control all the way up, okay, the motor's spinning top speed, and the vacuum level on this motor is about 22 inches. So we'll turn this back down. So that it's running at about 5 inches. And 5 inches would be about a normal speed for a rewind. Like I say, when it's in this position, it's in the rewind mode. And now we're going to turn on the switch, and you could hear that the speed of the motor went up. Okay, now when it's in this position with the switch on, this can turn it back down, okay, to a lower spot, but this turns it up. Okay. So now this is turning up the speed. This would be for the play mode. I've got this turned all the way down. I've got this rewind turned all the way down, and I've got the forward turned all the way up. I'm going to turn the play one all the way down. Okay. Turn the play one now. The play one is all the way down. The rewind one is all the way down, and the motor comes to a stop. Okay. So we turn this up to where the motor is starting to turn, and you see I've still got this all the way down. And the point of me saying that is that you can never turn the speed of the controller below what you've got this set at. So if I've got this set up here at full blast, even though I've got this turned all the way down, it doesn't affect it at all. Now you're in the play mode. Okay? So let's go to the rewind mode. Same level. Okay? Because you can't turn the play level down any lower than the rewind level. So we'll turn the rewind level back down. We'll put the play back on. And then we can turn the play up. But the play won't go any lower. In other words, I turn the play all the way down. It's all the way down, but it's not going any lower than the setting that I have for the rewind. and it never will. That's the way that the controller is designed. When it's in the play mode, you can only go higher than whatever the setting on the rewind is. So, and I've played with all of these parts. I've pushed everything around trying to see if I could make it do something weird, okay? But it's acting just like it's supposed to. The controller and the micro switch are working exactly as they're supposed to. So, turn that down to, this is now the play level. And we'll turn this off and turn this down. And now you can see that when it's in rewind, the motor's turning slow. When it's in play, the speed picks up. I'll make that a little more obvious. It's working exactly as it's designed. There's nothing wrong with your controller.